Hi, I'm Ian Curley. I'm here today with AGA Australia, and I'm going to introduce you to the new AGA ERA. The great thing about this new stove is modernised version of what my grandmother used to use, and it's up to date now with the induction top, the simmer plate, and the 3 ovens that you can vary between different temperatures. I've chosen these recipes because these are the dishes that I've grown up with. These recipes bring back so many memories of my childhood and being in the kitchen, but also it reminds me of my grandmother's stove. And now it's thoroughly modern and brought back to modern day with what this particular oven and stovetop can do. My first recipe today will be little potato blinis that you cook on top of the stove. Exceptional tasting, warm potato, and we're going to top that with a little bit of sour cream and some caviar, of all things. So we're going back from the country all the way to the palace with this one. What more could you want? The blini is made with potatoes, milk, a little bit of egg white, and we cook it on this gentle stove. And I just think it's a really good canapé dish and also a good starter to a meal. And here you have a very simple blini, caviar, sour cream. How simple is that? And now to get really fancy, we're going to do whole baked lamb shoulder. I'm going to put this from the oven in front of you with a few herb spices and a few little secret ingredients. For my lamb shoulder, I've got a little bit of water in there, some herbs, a little bit of garlic, and I like to put a lot of herbs in, a lot of different herbs, but hard herbs like rosemary, a bit of thyme. And I'm going to bring this up to just to a little simmer, and I just throw it in the oven like so, and in about 25-30 minutes, it's ready to go. So I'm going to do there. I'm going to transfer this now to this dish. I'm going to put chimichurri over the top, which is capsicum sauce with onions, garlic, a little bit more pan grattata. And I like to put around the outside so it's a complete meal. A few confit tomatoes with a bit of garlic, a bit of basil. You can use any particular herbs you like. Now the great thing about the ERA oven, or any AGA oven in fact, because it's a sealed unit, it actually cooks everything really, really well right the way through to the bone, and also it seals in all the flavour. And now for my favourite dinner party dish, I've got a whole fillet of New Zealand salmon. I'm going to paint it with tahini, yogurt, a little bit of garlic in there as well. And once it comes out of the oven, I'm going to add the salad, which is a red onion salad with mint, chilli. I'm going to squeeze a lemon juice right at the end. Now we're not baking the salmon, we're just heating it through essentially. The beauty of cooking in this particular oven, and also all of the AGA ovens, because it's a cast iron oven, it locks in the flavour really, really well. So this has been in the oven for about 20-25 minutes. I'm going to put my red onion on first, then a little bit more salt, a bit of dukkha, a bit of chilli, and what I like to do is a bit of green, and always a squeeze of lemon to finish. And there's your whole baked salmon, done in the ERA oven. This is my favourite dish, and this is a dish that I always bring together when I'm doing a family style cooking dish.
Ian, thank you for coming in today.
My pleasure.
How do you feel about the AGA?
It brings back so many memories, honestly, Simone. I've worked on one of these or with one of these over 30-40 years ago when I was a mere boy. So it's a real pleasure to come back and work with the ERA.
And what do you think is the main difference?
Well, the main difference for me was that the fact that it was wood-fired originally, and now it's all modernised and it's all completely up to date. It's like 21st century. I get reminiscent of what it used to be like when I was using that particular stove, and it kind of brings back a warm smile on my face and thinking the tradition's still alive and it's just been modernised. The reason I've chosen the whole cooked cauliflower piri piri sauce, this is just to show you that the oven doesn't actually need expensive ingredients like the salmon and the lamb shoulder. We can do a very, very simple vegetarian dish, which is the baked cauliflower. And we've cooked the cauliflower ahead of time, so it's just boiled, so you can do that in the morning, come home, throw it in the oven, and off you go. I would serve this as a meal like that, and then to actually present it, and it's like a steak for the vegans. Now to finish, we're going to have a warm winter crumble. You just cannot have an AGA, or you can't have an AGA in my house without having a crumble. Basically, all it is a roughly chopped up apples, pears. Don't mind if there's a little bit of skin. And I'm not going to use any sugar on the apples or the pears because they should have their natural sugars. Throw in a little bit of butter, and this is going to help caramelize, and just let it tick along until it softens the apples and the pears, and we'll go from there. Then we're going to add there's some raspberries, strawberries, any old fruit that's kicking around that we've like blended together so we haven't wasted, and that's our crumble mix. I'm going to add that now, and I'm going to spread that around because I want the crumble now to stick to the top of this. To finish, I like to use mint. The ERA, it's got that cast iron seal, bakes the crumbles really well on top and give it finishes like a little biscuit. All the recipes are available through agaaustralia.com.au.
Ian, thank you so much. That was all wonderful. I can't believe how delicious it all tasted.
Simone, my pleasure. I love this stove. I think it's fantastic.
And what do you think would be your favourite element out of all of the different things?
Obviously, I loved all of them. I think still my favourite would be the hot plate because I think there's so much that we haven't explored that we could have done today. We did the blini, of course, but also it's something as simple as just cooking toast on this. And also the whole warming plate, it's got so much that you can do with it. All of it's amazing, let's face it. But I think still my favourite is the hot plate.
Well, thank you again. Amazing.
Thank you very much.